Diwali, I think 8th grade maybe, my mom cooked some of her traditional lemon rice. She used 3 of the 4 lemons and handed me the leftover one. That bright yellow lemon with perfection engraved in its ovoid structure triggered an instructional crisis as I receded into an utter state of blankness. I was facing a much deeper philosophical dilemma with an open-ended answer. What do you do when life gives you lemons? Do you put them in the fridge for later? Do you draw a little face on it and make yourself a new buddy? Do you plant a lemon tree? Or do you just give them right back? Or does life even give you lemons? Well, I no longer had to ponder that question because life literally gave me a lemon. First, I made myself some lemonade because Google told me to do so. Squeeze, squeeze, turn, turn, add, add, mix, mix. It was disgusting. Logically, I had to capitalize on pity donations out of unwaveringly supportive relatives, so I split the lemonade equally and gave each of my 52 relatives a sip for 50 cents. I knew exactly where the money was going. Walmart. My $26 funded an Almond Joy, some Sharpies, another Almond Joy, a chapstick, and a pair of white canvas shoes for doodling purposes. What started off as a personal fashion choice for cool kid status somehow turned into a school-wide fad. Orders were pouring in as people pleaded with me to personalize their own shoes with designs, messages, and characters. I started my first business. But again, a fad was just that, a fad. As that business plateaued, I had 2 choices. Number 1, walk away with what I made so far. Or number 2, wander towards another unexpected journey. I decided. I took what I made so far and invested in a .005 mm pen, some glass tubes, beads, baby oil, and necklaces. Can you tell where this is going? Well, I couldn't either at the time, but macro art eventually evolved into micro art as I uniquely mastered an innate skill that turned my 200 into 2,000. I did the impossible. I perfected the art of engraving names on grains of rice to create pendants. Within a month, the nice Name on Rice brand was born. A couple years ago, I didn't even know how to market Girl Scout cookies. But here I was managing my own brand with a website and social media. People started hearing about me, and my second business started expanding. Eventually, a school journalist heard about my startup and was interested enough to write a cute little article about me. A week later, I found my face plastered across the front page of the school newspaper. That slight and very, very temporary exposure to fame and a media platform sparked my interest in our school's TV show, The Main. Duh, I had to be a part of it. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough space in my schedule to take the class, so I had to make some executive decisions about my pretty stable high school career. I decided. I switched around some classes, dropped an AP course, and took a summer class just to get ahead so I can earn a spot in the class. Can you tell where this is going? Well, I couldn't either at the time, but after 2 years of practicing editing, cinematography, camera movement, aperture control, and composition, I became a host for season 5 of The Main. Yes, lemons can have and will make you famous. There it was again, my chubby face plastered across about 1,000 screens, all thanks to my lemon. As a part of my job, I had to go around the school and capture videos about student life, new clubs, and activities. One day, a friend let me know that there was a new club starting at our school. So I decided to take on the segment out of pure necessity. And can you tell where this is going? Well, I definitely didn't know at the time. But 4 months later, I found myself lured into a TED Talk club writing about some unfathomably persuasive beliefs while becoming closely acquainted with one of the founders. Just when I thought that my lemon had served me well enough, the founder of that club happened to be associated with a teen-led, teen-driven, nonprofit organization within the community. One connection after another helped me find a place where I could combine my passion for teaching and deaf culture to give American Sign Language lessons to a bunch of teenagers. How did I get here again? I was supposed to be selling some really, really bad lemonade to some really, really good people. I went from a lemon to shoes, to necklaces, to fame, to a TV show, to a TED Talk club, to a teacher, to, well, remember my struggle to enroll in the media class? I guess some good did come out of it, because at the end, I ended up in a pre-calc class. After about a year or so, I made a best friend. A very successful best friend. She happened to be the co-chair of interns of the Obama Legacy Initiative. Can you tell where this is going? Well, I couldn't either at the time, but I was referred to their marketing position, and a couple months later, their official promo video was born. I was also one of their featured artists for one of their biggest fundraisers. At an event to display my work, Congressman Bill Foster, I repeat, Congressman Bill Foster commemorated me for artistic and community excellence. A couple months ago, I was happy if my parents merely nodded at my work as a sign of approval. But now, my artwork was displayed across the Chicago Daily Herald and WGN local news. After one of the interviews with one of the channels, the cameraman pulled me aside and conducted his own little interview. He asked me what I did outside of the organization, if I had any other talents, if I was employed, and if I wanted a job at the Tylerman Film Studios. I just wanted to squeeze my lemon out of happiness. Wait. Very, very unfortunately, the pandemic hit and I lost my job. And I was presented with two choices. Number one, walk away with what I made so far, which was a lot, or number two, keep going. I decided. I took what I made so far and invested every penny into the stock market before the economic recession. During the end of this surreal journey that I know is bound to continue, I turned a lemon into $28,000. The greatness of a lemon does not lie within it. The greatness of a lemon lies in what becomes of it. There are two types of people in this world, me and everybody else. When asked to complete the phrase, "When life gives you lemons," everybody replied, but I applied. When I look back on my progress on my most discouraging days, I see an entrepreneur, an artist, a teacher, a videographer, a public speaker, and a wildly passionate teenager. Most of the time, I didn't know where my life was going, but that served as a reminder that I wasn't stuck in a mundane chain of milestones. The truth is, life doesn't give you lemons. It presents disguised opportunities to anyone who's willing to seize them in the fundamental process of seeking and identifying. But I gotta be honest, it wasn't easy. It was never easy. Barriers exist. Fear exists. Insecurities exist. My parents exist. So the answer is quite simple, really. When life gives you lemons, just make some lemonade. Thank you.